Let's see what's cooking. Let's get the facts. Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Max 12.
Hello, today we're doing super cute panda bread. Take a large bowl and in it place 1 cup of milk and 1 egg yolk. Blend those two together with a whisk and then put it in the microwave for about 40 seconds until when you touch the milk it feels very warm. Then add some yeast. I use quick rise instant yeast. That's 1 envelope, which is about 2 1/4 teaspoons. And you're also going to add 2 1/2 tablespoons of sugar and blend that together. Great thing about the quick rise instant yeast is that you don't have to proof it, which means you don't have to let it bubble. You can just put it in, dissolve it, and keep right on going. Now add 1 1/2 tablespoons of butter, and the heat from the milk should melt the butter a little bit, and if it's not completely melted, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Then we're going to add 3 cups of flour, 1 cup at a time. The first cup you should be able to blend in with the whisk because you have enough liquid there, and just whisk it around until it's very smooth. Oh, and you also need 3/4 tablespoon of salt, which I should have added at the beginning with the sugar, but I forgot. For your second cup of flour, put it all in all at once and stir it with a wooden spoon, and you will notice that the dough will start to pull away from the sides. The third cup of flour, don't put it all in all at once, put a little bit at a time and start to scrape the sides of the bowl and bring the dough together in a ball in the center of the bowl and just knead it a little bit in the bowl and then turn it out onto the countertop. You can use a bread machine for this, and there'll be a link in the description box for those instructions. I'm just showing you here that I have a good 1/2 cup left of the 3 cups that I didn't need to use. All bread making is like this. The exact amount of flour, it really depends on the dough. So just continue to knead until you get something that's smooth, elastic, and as you can see, no longer sticks to the countertop. Then we're going to divide it into 3 pieces. 2 pieces roughly the same size, and the third piece, the small one, is going to be only 1/3 of the size of the larger ones. So 2 the same, and that last little one is only about 1/3 of the size of the one next to it. Then put a little bit of oil in a bowl and just coat the dough ball, because this one's going to remain just the way it is. We're not changing its color. And put that in a warm place to rise. I put it in my oven with just the oven light on, and that gives it a little bit of heat. It's perfect. Now we're going to color the second large piece green. I'm using food color for this. However, the recipe that on the website where I found this indicates you should use a tablespoon of green tea powder mixed with some hot water. I don't have green tea powder, so I'm using the green food coloring. I'm using the paste food coloring. If you use liquid food coloring, that'll be fine. You just might have to add a little bit more flour if your dough gets too sticky. So the same thing, put it in a boil, cover with a little bit of oil, and then put that somewhere warm to rise. And the third piece, the small one, I'm going to dye black with paste food coloring. You can also use 3 1/2 teaspoons of cocoa mixed with a little bit of hot water. But I wanted to try to get it black, not brown, so I am using that food coloring, and it's really messy, but it cleans off, so it's okay. Same thing in the bowl and let it rise. You're going to let this rise for about 2 hours until it doubles in size. And the rising time will depend on how warm the location is where it's rising. So turn out the white portion onto the countertop. You might have to put a little bit of flour down. Stretch it out a bit. And then we're going to cut it again into 3 pieces. 2 pieces roughly the same size, and the third piece about half the size of one of the larger pieces. The black we're going to just cut into 4 pieces, into quarters. Simple. Put those aside. And the green we are going to cut into 2. 1 large and 1 about half the size. Now take one of the large pieces of white, roll it into a log shape. Now the length of the log will depend on how big your bread pan is, so make it the length of the bottom of the bread pan. Then roll out the small piece of white into a log shape and then roll out 2 of the black pieces into thin log shapes. Now I'm adding a little bit of water on the dough just so that it sticks together. You're going to place the small white piece over the large one and then put 2 black pieces on either side, and those will be the eye patches. Take the third large piece, flatten it out, and you're going to stretch it and tuck it around just like you're covering it with a blanket. And try to get it all the way around, and I find by adding a little water to the surface of the dough, it really helps keep things sticking together. So wrap the blanket around and tuck it underneath so that it's completely covered. And then over the top, we're going to place the smaller of the green pieces. And then the remaining 2 black pieces, roll those out as well into log shapes and put them on either side of the green piece. Those will be the panda ears. And finally, the last piece of green, which is a big one. Just flatten it out. And then place it over top, and we're going to stretch it all the way around so that it covers the entire white piece. So all you're going to see is green. So stretch it out. It should be easily stretched because the dough is very elastic. And if you need to, use a little bit of water to seal up the seams. And take the time to do this right, because if it's not sealed properly, it'll come apart a little bit and it may mess up your final result. So once you're done sealing it up, then place it seam side down in a greased loaf pan and cover and let it rise in a warm place for about 30 minutes to an hour until it's doubled. The second rising is always faster than the first rising. There it is, risen. And there is a spot that I didn't seal it properly and it's come apart. But once it's risen like this, if you start playing around with it, the air might come out and it might sink again. So I'm just going to leave it and see how it turns out. And then you're going to bake it at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes until it's golden brown. It makes this sound when you tap it. It's a hollow sound. It sounds like it's hollow inside. Remove it from the loaf pan and let it cool completely before you cut it. Once it's cooled completely, slice it up. First slice, kind of disappointed. I thought it was like a mutant panda. But as I kept slicing, the cute panda started to emerge in the subsequent slices. And there we go. Cute little panda hiding in a loaf of bread. The bread itself is actually a good bread recipe. I've made homemade bread before with, not so good success, but this one turned out just perfect as far as bread goes. So there they are. Don't have to worry. I know that the green color might be a little bit off-putting because it is bread. However, this food coloring has zero taste. It just tastes like bread. There's no difference in taste between the green and the black and the white. It's a very good bread. It's colorful. It's absolutely adorable, don't you think? If you decide to give this panda bread a try, take some photos and upload them to your Facebook account. Add me as a friend on Facebook. The link to my Facebook is on my channel page. I would love to see them. Goodbye.